All right, just want to show you what I was demonstrating. This is my living room window up on the third floor, and this is the wall that blocks my ability to see anything over here at my outside of my leasing window office. So there's two things. Point of analysis, which you would have already noticed. At this point, you already are aware of witnessing what is demonic activity made manifest before you. First of all, this is a hovering light source. The sun is not going to be in alignment with a three-story building, okay? That's not the sun. That's a hovering light source, first of all. And the entity is maintaining a light source in a position to where it's literally in alignment with my window, which is on a third floor. The entity's flying right over my head by airplane, just like they were group stalking by airplane as I walked outside of my office. I captured that. That's the state that is stalking in the specific environment, and so are all of the people of the state that are in relevant position, including Nova contractors. Understand that, while the entity flies over my head right now. So the entity is maintaining a light source over me. This is not the sun that's over the Upland Public Library. I'm capturing images on this day while I'm inside. The library opens at 10 o'clock in the morning. So April 30th, 2022, I'm inside of 450 North Euclid Avenue. The light source is hovering above my head, and you have what is engineered light appearing the shape of those circular windows and the window panes appearing all over the floor in the staircase. That's the light source, and that's engineered light. And that is not coexisting, being over the roof of the Upland Public Library and being seen through the windows of my leasing office at 1810 North Alvarado Street. In addition to that, you're just observing the light source itself. This is not the sun, also because this is a hovering light source. If the gaseous ball of fire is actually hovering over us, we would all be set on fire, based on what we're told. And in addition to that, it's in alignment with a three-story building. This is my apartment, and the entity keeps the light source visible in eyesight alignment with me inside of the apartment, and it remains also where it's here. It's still here at this location. Remember the video that I captured while I'm standing at this same exact apartment building where I'm at, 1806 at 1 in the afternoon. That's also showing what's not the sun. In addition to that, the entity is moving the light source in real time. Where I walk to the opposite side of the apartment complex, the light source hops over where it's present here 3 hours from now at 1 o'clock, but it will hop over to remain over me as I go onto the opposite side of the apartment building. And then the entity is feigning a sunset on the opposite side of that same apartment building in the evening. All you're doing is paying attention to what is stalking blatantly with the light source, as you see the entity stalking in planes and helicopters. Okay, that's what's coexisting. And I want to be clear, that's exactly what Nova Contractors is engaging in. So the entity is maintaining the light source over the Upland Public Library today. That's not going to be seen visible outside of my living room window. And the other point of analysis that I'm pointing out is through my living room window, I cannot see any sky space that is visible from my leasing office window. Okay, I'm in building 1806. Leasing office is adjacent to building 1810. So while I am looking outside Saturdays and Sundays, in other words, when I stay inside of my apartment building, good morning, how are you? That's crossing path in plain sight. They're all going to federal prison. The entity is maintaining the light source in alignment to my living room window all day. It's never outside of the leasing office window, which I would not be able to see. That's the ongoing documented evidence of what is stalking with a light source. If that's the sun as I'm capturing it outside of my living room window, when I stay inside of my apartment, that is, then I'm not going to see it outside of my window of my leasing office. In addition to that, you have what is the entity that is hovering to be at eye level to a three-story building. Okay, like I said, the demon possessed, this secret society, it's not a matter of rocket science. You just have not been paying attention. And the entity is moving a light source because the entity is engaged in obsessive stalking. I am literally the center of the universe of a highly deranged and demon possessed entity, and that includes the government that's engaged in stalking an American citizen. And it does it through the people that are maintaining presence in that environment, and they're supposed to be secretly stalking you. There's nothing secret about it when you're recognizing the environment, and then the ongoing hovering and clearly criminal conduct of the government that acts directly, as I've also shown. At no point in time is the sun going to bounce from being here over my head in front of 1806 North Alvarado Street. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 10:30 right now. There's no sun over the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, okay? This is my shadow. LAPD just crossed path right over there, all right? And this is the light source that's over the hillside, the same hillside where the supposed sun is rising. And I just want to be clear, demons such as Iris Carnero who cross path and molest me with engineered light, they're sex offenders. They're keeping me under surveillance, and these group stalkers are also monitoring inside of the courts. All they do is go sit in the gallery, they're walking around, they're inside of the state facilitating venues, group stalking there as well. They are also the same ones that engage in criminal summoning with these corrupt police departments that are stalking in helicopters and sounding sirens in relevant position under a light source which is not even the sun. This is speaking to what is a highly demented and deranged stalking system operated in the state of California. Again, this is America's version of terrorism. And then you see the behavior, the psychotic behavior, that ongoing increase of threatening behavior by stalkers, obsessed stalkers, and violent sex offenders where that is exposed, okay? The government does not, in other words, cease to engage in that threat. We're supposed to be a leader, a beacon of light in the world, by the way. And their criminal conduct in the state of California, which is even in this country, California is supposedly a step above everybody else. But I want to be clear, California is not the only state engaging in this. And California is by no means a leader where I am showing what the government is engaging in. And it is showing what is very, very sick that is being practiced amongst a population. And that population is strategically placed in the government. They're in the law enforcement. They are literally in the branches of government. And so that's what the significance of police departments stalking, engaging in what is demonic group stalking. That's the significance of sheriff's departments and courthouses, literally where you have the people of the business, the business of the people are supposed to be handled. And they're engaging in what is criminal conduct and then seeking to conceal that. That's the significance of having what is not possibly the sun over my head at the same time where I'm standing here. 1806 North Alvarado Street, there is no sun over 8303 Haven Avenue in Rancho Cucamonga. This is not rocket science. This is P.O.C. And there's no light activity that's going to occur from the sun that's directly above us and then doing gymnastics to reach underneath a covered structure to appear on the ground, magnified in size, even showing leaves blowing in the trees through that. You're opening the front door and light is appearing above your head and the trees that you see here appearing above your shadow, appearing above you. This is all manner of demonic. The light activity you see on my ceiling. And then you have what is the silence of the people of the state that are in that environment. Stalking with the government that uses airplanes to cross path and in helicopter. This is a government system, okay? Silverview Townhomes is called relevant positioning. They're engaged in the state system. That's grounds of removing every minor child in the custody of that population engaging in that wildly deranged criminal system. All right, everybody at Alvarado Gardens, these are demons that are living. This is a demon-possessed population, and it does create a matter of what is public safety concerns. Not only based on what is so sick and psychotic that a government is doing it, but then you're looking at their behavior when they're exposed, when the sex offender is exposed. The stalker and the sex offender engages in more terrorism, engages in more stalking, engages in more sexual violence. That is indeed a public safety concern. Okay? And the P.O.C. is near you, wherever you're at, because this isn't the natural environment. And the engineered light is around you, you're just not paying attention to it. And I'm one that's subject to this criminal system, surrounded by a population of this particular condition. And the demon-possessed population is wildly hostile to the fact that you're exposing them, their tactics, and their criminal conduct, and as they listen to the consequences that they will face on the world stage. All right, specifically in a federal court. All right, it's currently 10:34 a.m. This is the maintenance of the light source that's nowhere near the Upland Public Library, which is where I was at on this day in 2022. And it's also not over the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, which is a facilitating venue where this pattern of conduct is documented underway. The two are not ever occurring. Demons are right now pacing all around. This is very sick. They're pacing all around what you saw Universal Waste engaging in, crossing path, demons. They're driving all around on the roads and highways, on Avalon, on Effie, on Lobdell, and they're group stalking in their vehicles, engineer lights swiping all across. That's what this demon-possessed population is doing. And they're doing this in the sky space. They're flying around in helicopter and airplanes listening to me, a whole population that's fixated on you. And you know that because the light source is right above me. That's how you know that, because this is impossibly the sun. All right, that is P.O.C.